right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:31. It is January 15th. It is 2025. Here we are. It is Wednesday. It is CPI day. Yesterday, it seemed like the PPI came in a little light. The market gapped up and they sold strength just like they've been selling a lot of strength in 2025. So this trade's been a little different. We always have different phases in the market, and it is what it is. You have to approach things differently. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Lab.com. Welcome to the 630 Club. I'm also the founder of Red Dog Mindset. Hopefully everyone's feeling wet. I was wet this morning in the ice barrel, feeling good, and getting ready for the day. So here we are. It's hard to tell what's going to happen with the CPI. All I know is that I'd like to get this out of the way. Some of the conspiracy theorists think that it's going to be light the same way the jobs report was strong. So this way, the outgoing administration looks as best as possible, but we'll see. SPYs to me in the market is a little bent. We're not like broken, but the S&P is something like 4% off highs. The Qs were like 6% off highs. So we've had a little bit of a corrective phase, but it's hasn't been anything so crazy. We've earnings season coming up, and for me, I have risk down. So the ranges yesterday were definitely a little nuts. Like here right now is the SPYs. The SPYs right now are up $1.20. So you had Europe a little higher. You had Asia mixed after a big day, and and here is this head and shoulders pattern that kind of triggered below the neckline, but didn't get much follow through to the downside. But if you look where we came from, remember this day. This was, I think, the day that Nvidia came out at the CES conference, and they sold the news. That was when the SPYs was at 597. That was your red dog reversal. That was when we took out all the moving averages. That was your day to reduce risk. That was January 7th. And from there, you had a pretty big move lower. Okay. And then we reclaimed this 578, and we haven't had much traction. Even yesterday with they could have squeezed the shorts. You had a light PPI, and lo and behold, just a choppy day. I did isolate 585 for you. So if you sold 585, you were able to take some, if you had some longs on. I came in yesterday with some longs on, so it was an easy morning. Today, I come in with basically nothing. So, I'm kind of flat-footed, but I'm fine with it. I've had a decent January so far, and the market hasn't been great. I tend to make a lot more money when we're in a trending market, when things are above the 821 day, when stocks are making higher highs and higher lows, not choppy, to the downside. But anyway, what I want the market to do and what it does are two different things. I have to adjust just like all of you guys. So anyway, we'll see what happens today. Post CPI, if the CPI is light, you have the 8-day, which is very close to 585. So I think that's not such a level. I would think, if you want to really put a full line in the sand where it's like, hey, this is where the bears have to step up if they want to keep the pressure on. It's really closer to 590. Because again, they like to squeeze everybody, make everyone feel bad, et cetera, before a move happens. I personally wouldn't mind if the CPI comes in a little hotter and we come down first and retest 575 or just test lower levels, but we'll see. I don't want to be selfish. The Qs also, if you look at it, yes, I isolated 510 to 513 and went as high as 510.15 and sold down, and then made a bit of a higher low. And now if you look at the Qs aren't doing a whole hell of a lot. They're up $1.50 though. 506.57. So it's below 510, above here. So it's still in this lower range below all the moving averages. So to me, there's no reason to be in such risk. Right now the market's still going through a market discovery phase where you're not sure exactly if we're going to be down 7, 8, 9, 10% off the highs. So far, the first 5 days of the year weren't that strong. And usually with the inflows, if you're going to have a strong January or a strong first quarter, the first week is strong because, the inflows are real. So if you have lower market with real inflows to start the quarter and start the year, that means the selling pressure is stronger than the buying pressure. And some people who might have had huge gains from the last 2 years of 20% plus moves, are taking some profits. But anyway, let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world. Here we go. This is, you can watch the 6:30 Club on Instagram. You could not Instagram. I'm sorry. We should be able to watch it on Instagram. We watch it on YouTube, and you can watch it on Twitter. Everyone's talking a little bit. Oh, who's this? Bo S&W. The market is pretty strange. I made more money in 2025 year to date than the entire. What have you been doing? Maybe you should be giving a 6:30 Club. There's been moves. When is Elon going to jail? Hopefully not. I don't want him going to jail. I don't think he's going to jail. I know there was an SEC inquiry. I think that was some news. That's why maybe Tesla sold off yesterday. Good morning from Connecticut. What's up? What's up? Market does seem heavy, Jim. It's just taking its time. It's not making it that easy on the shorts either. I have a bunch of institutional friends. They've been shorting every rally, getting net short. And they're really good. Sometimes they talk about uncommitted shorts. Those are like traders like us that want things to go down. And if you press and we rally up, it's hard to stay short. I've been squeezed before. But there are guys that are just shorting every move and thinking that, hey, we're going to at least 565 in the SPYs or below, which I'm not. I'm kind of neutral to negative, but that's not my style. Anyway, what else we got going on? We got Mike Pags. Oh, I put in for you to get on the private Twitter, which is the Redler All Access. You emailed me before. So anyway, I got to say, like, NVIDIA is probably everyone's best friend. It might not be a Long's best friend right now, but NVIDIA has given so many clues that the market, what the market's going to do that day. If you look here, if you remember on the CES when everyone was all hyped up and it looked like the market was going to actually have a good start to the year, it was sold. This day right here, look at that. Look at that candle. That was January 7th. Okay, couldn't hold 152.16 was sold. Double top at 153. Got below the day before's low. So right there, the bear said, "We have power. No need to be in the risk." And anyway, got down. You had one little bottom candle after 4 down days. I never buy on day 4. You don't also press on day 4. And then yesterday they sold strength. And where did they sell strength? Right into the moving averages. So if you look here, maybe that's why you're having such a good year, because you're a good short, and there's been a lot of ways to short things into resistance. Same way, buy things into the moving averages, but we're below them. So anyway, what's NVIDIA doing today? NVIDIA's doing a whole enough. It's down 10 cents while the SPYs are up $1.30. The Qs are up $1.50. NVIDIA's changed. It's not leading the way. I like to be in Tesla and NVIDIA when they're leading the market to the upside, not the latter. Same thing with Apple. And all three of them, have not been great. It's been great, some of the energy names, but that's for the January effect because it was so bad last year. And we played them. But anyway, I had VLO for you guys. VLO's looked great. Look, piece of junk last year, but remember right here, we bought VLO for the power plays, and I also had it on options. Well, it's back to the 200-day, which is going to be a lot harder. I would be selling it up here. We had Oxy also, if you remember. The day right here when Buffett came out and said he was adding to his Oxy, which was right there. That's when I went from just having options and stock. So those are my 2 energy plays. But again, I'm not going to turn into an energy trader. It was a January effect scenario that worked. That worked. You know what didn't work? CELH did not work. Piece of junk. Sorry. I don't ever drink energy drinks, to be honest, and I have nothing against people who do. But all I know is the entire Twitter sphere have been talking about buying CLH since here. I tried here, it didn't work. I tried it here again for options, and I bought the stock right there. Worked for like a half a day, and now it's a whole lot of nothing. So sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. And when there's no real reason for it, what you should do is not have stock. You should just have options. But anyway, Bobby, energy drinks. I do have iced coffee. Listen, iced coffee. And I'm going to actually switch over from this iced coffee to Rise, which is a mushroom iced coffee. A lot of people say it's great for the gut. It's great for your mind. Cocoa from coffee is not good for men over 50 for cortisol, but we're not going to get into that whole thing. That'll be, another challenge for the Red Dog Mindset once I get my subscribe button. For now, I am, 2 weeks. I did the fast. Hopefully you guys fasted. I fasted second Monday for 36 hours. I start from 9 o'clock on Sunday and I go through till about 2 o'clock on Tuesday. So it's a whole day. It's not like Yom Kippur where you fast for the morning and afternoon and then eat 10 bagels. Anyway, that doesn't make you feel good. You're just atoning for your sins. So I atone for my sins now with a real fast. But anyway, this is nothing. So people like Red Dog, why are you out of Tesla? Rye is not amazing. You don't like it? Get it done? Tell me why. Scott at T3Live.com. Scott at T3Live.com. Anyway, this is what Tesla looks like right now. So to me, Tesla kind of changed yesterday. I'm going to be a little careful, just a little careful. Why? Well, first you had this was my best trade of last year, from pre-election, post-election. You had your red dog reversal top, your lower high, got rejected into resistance here, made a lower high, and then yesterday came off pretty hard. You know, got rejected into resistance. I was long Tesla coming in yesterday, and I sold it. I actually was short puts, and I got away from that because this candle just said, hey, another lower high, pretty ugly, closing the lows. I guess there was two pieces of news. One was on Elon about the SEC, which I don't think has much traction. And then the other was about discontinuing something with their Y model. So I just got out of it. It's up 230 today. So watch it. If Tesla opens up and all of a sudden starts to fade and breaks below 394.54, you have to be a little careful. I'm just saying it's different. I'm a trader. I like Elon. I love what he's doing. I'm happy that he's with Trump in the business minds, and I'm happy that Inauguration Day you're going to have Jeff there. You're going to have Mark Zuckerberg there. You're going to have all the major business guys. I'd rather business guys running this country than politicians. But anyway, we're not going to talk that. But for now, this tells me it closed. But here it's above the 8-day, looking awesome. Now it's getting a little bit more tactical. So I just want you to be careful. 360 is big. I agree. First here's a 50-day. It's been above the 50-day. So today's a big day for Tesla. Anyway, first day for me in a while that I don't have any exposure there. Actually, that's not true, because I got short Tesla up here, and I've been tactical, pretty much this whole time. So Tesla's tactical. NVIDIA, not special. Okay, the two best companies in the world to me. Apple, just saying, has led us lower. Okay, Apple was the first one to break below 257, below the 8-day. It's been below all the way down, and now you do have 229.72. I think it was upgraded today. Was Apple upgraded today? I think Apple was upgraded. What's Apple doing today? It's up $1.12, 243. So it's still even below that. So there's just not a whole lot to be so excited about. Amazon looks pretty decent. Is pretty decent the new special? No. When I am an active trader trying to make a living, trying to hold 10 positions, use my tier system, adding to them for higher highs and higher lows, that is when they're special. Right now, ever since 233, 229, 224, 221, it's not making higher highs and higher lows. So if you're an active bull, you don't want to be long this. You might even be making good money short. Anyway, so with that being said, I guess we'll see if 216.20-ish holds. If it doesn't, then we're going lower. So far, this is worth watching. Black Bear, Yom Kippur is a serious fast. If you do it correctly, no food, including liquids, for 25 hours. Listen, I'm not taking it away. I'm saying I'm doing for 36 hours. I've done serious fast. I'm just saying, but by sundown, okay, you're having like a bagel and you have a Nova lox, a few potato pancakes. The break fast for Yom Kippur is not that healthy. We need politicians other than technocrats. Not really. A politician does whatever it is self-serving to them. They'll be a Democrat, they'll be a Republican, they'll like this issue, they'll like that issue. It all depends on where the votes are, and what the mantra is. But anyway, I'm not an expert on Washington. All I know is that I pay about 40% in taxes, which I'm cool with. If I have to pay over 50%, I get a little edgy. And I do a lot of things in my town which I can control. I'm on the recreation committee, trying to get turf fields for the kids. I tried to close down streets for business. I've tried to, I'm going on the Ed Foundation to raise money for programs. But the politician or political part of it with the housing and the streets and it's crazy. But anyway, Meta's tricky. Meta kind of feels a little bit like an Amazon, where it's like, hey, you had your high, looked good, and then yesterday was a little wishy-washy on the whole TikTok news. What's Meta doing this morning? It's up 598. So I guess okay, it's above 583. What was the low yesterday? 588. These are all rebuilding. This whole market is in rebuilding mode. It's all in, hey, let me build new patterns and figure out what the next direction is. And when things are figuring out new patterns, all you want to do is trade the setups and look for cash flow. You're not looking for money trades. Unless you think we're going to break to the downside and you're cost averaging into a short, there was a bunch of those last year, the same way there was a bunch to the upside. But if you're looking for patterns that are moving forward, that are above the 8-day, that are trending, that have been paying you for being there the entire time. That's just not what's happening right now, in my opinion. Anyway, so with that being said, if you're an investor, it's a different story. Like look at Netflix. Netflix also is in a corrective phase. It had a great move last year. Okay, but now if you were super, active, it gave you an out here at 915. Some people got short, and it's been below the moving averages ever since. Okay, so it's a no trade. It's a yes, a bunch of days ago went from red to green and gave you a push, and that was it. Shorting Tesla down to 360 and bullish Uber. That's true, Tony. I'll take a look at Uber. Let's see. Uber started. You know what? Some people are like, hey, Red Dog, what's a new active sequence? Well, Uber started an active bear sequence right here when it did this false breakout, and then it's been below the moving averages ever since. So they have been trading inversely because of the whole robotaxi thing. So if you think Uber's going to hold here and go higher, okay, it's a start. Okay, here was a first move, into the moving averages, held where it had to, and I'd say you could be long Uber versus 63. That's your out. If I was in Uber, which I'm not right now, I would say you could be long versus 63. If this is any good, it shouldn't break above 63. And if you want to add to it, it's got to get above and stay above, 67.25, 67.25. That would be your add. So you could frame it two ways. Buy versus a level, so you're not, just looking to add on strength. Let's see where Uber is this morning. Uber is at 64.92, and the next would be for it to continue to the upside. Okay, so at this point we'll see. So that's a decent thought. So if Uber wants to get above 67.25, what you're saying is then Tesla's going to go red and break below yesterday's low. Okay, I get it. So I would think if the bears want to have power here, the way I would frame this, if I was looking to be short Tesla, which I'm really not looking to be short, I'm just not in it, I would say, hey, the bears should reject price at 403, right? Right now, Tesla is 399. So you don't want to short something in no man's land. This is just my thought process. If you shorted here at 399, it could still go to 401 and still be a short. And then all of a sudden you want to see the SPYs continue to the upside and Tesla not go to the upside, right? And that's your signal. And then all of a sudden SPYs come in, it goes red, breaks below 394, and then you have your short trade. If it opens up at 399 and it holds there and gets above 403 and starts to get rid of this candle, then all of a sudden, hey, active bulls are back in charge. So this is why you have to frame things in your head with multiple types of strategies. Anyway, yeah, I understand UBRL is double Uber. It's what's crazy is all these instruments, double, triple, quadruples. It's like, come on, what do you want to trade crack? But I get it. Like I traded this yesterday really well, MSTU. I traded the 3 times Mister, so I guess I was 2 times. So I was trading, the crack also. So I get it. At times, these are not investments, though. These are just like if you think something's going to happen and you don't want to be in Mister, because Mister, is a stock that's trading at 341, and you feel like psychological. We all have different psychological type of things in our. So actually, Mister is down this morning. I don't know why that's not showing. So some people would rather. It's just the way you are. Some people would rather take 5,000 shares of Mister MSTU, because they think it's easier to control than 1,500 Mister or whatever it is at 342, just because it's their style. But right now, Mister is not doing anything. What's IBIT doing? It should be interesting. I thought crypto was up this morning. It's only up 16 cents. So right now, crypto is not showing relative strength really to the SPYs. But anyway. With that being said, guys, it's 6:50. Let's just go back to the SPYs once again. It is CPI day. For me, for what makes me tick is I don't like to miss up moves. But with this kind of pattern, I'm pretty neutered. I talk about all my different time frames. At 52, I'm putting money in my 401k every month. I don't care what happens to the market this year. It'll help my average cost over the next 10. My wife's 403b the same way. My blood in the street account, I don't start putting it to work at 4 or 5% off highs. I put it to work when the oscillator is at minus 80, minus 90. We're down 6-7% off the highs, and there's real blood in the street. This, to me, if you look at the weekly chart, is just, has just been a little bit of a corrective phase. This is your weekly chart. So here we are. This is not blood in the street. This really wasn't blood in the street either, but I put it to work. Either was this. But here, this has been kind of normal. I was kind of hoping we would see 565, and I still think there's a chance, but I'm not, I'm not talking so bearish. But for me, I don't need to put that account to work. It's in a 4% rider unless all of a sudden we're down 6-7%, and then I'll start with 3 tiers like I did here. That was awesome. The Blood in the Street account made a ton of money here, and then, but so did the 401k. If you put money every single month to work and you were 40 years old, this helped your average cost. It's just about all the different types of accounts. She can't put money in anymore, and then actively on the weekly, it looks like we're barely holding on to, the 21 day there. But again, let's go back to the daily where we'll see what happens post 8:30. And I will say some guys are getting very upset lately about, the way the market's structured, where it's like, hey, like yesterday, the market opened up big, it was up big and started fading. Everyone's like, I'm in options, I can't sell my options. Well, you know what? Then you got to take some stock also besides options. And if you don't have enough buying power and you feel like you're trading options just because you don't have enough buying power, then hey, maybe look into becoming licensed and a prop trader. Maybe you want to go from trading a retail account to then having a bigger account, get licensed, be with go look into T3 Trading Group. It's January 15th. They'll fund you as long as you're good, as long as you pass their tests. And if you want me to refer you to them, then just Scott at T3Trading.com. Scott at T3Trading.com. I'll send it over to Derek, who's awesome, and so is Josh. And maybe you could trade more than just options because you need some more buying power. But anyway, you got to work on yourself. You got to figure out how to put yourself in a better position to win. And it's not just sitting and running in place. Come on, guys. It's a new year. It should be a new, better you. So get going. I'll see you guys later.